Hello, my beautiful viewers. I'm Austin.
I'm Jamie.
And my name's Ben.
We're playing Metroid again, number 4.
Metroid episode number 4, because technically this is like the remake of number 1, so it's not Metroid 4.
Aw. Oh well. But, space.
The final frontier.
If I didn't have water in my mouth, I would have repeated with you guys.
Oh, okay. I had to do that introduction. Okay, so is this one of the...
This is Ripley with the most anticlimactic bosses ever. Because they build him up, and they build him up, and they build him up, and then he turns out to be the most pathetic boss in the entire game.
Brinstar.
Brinstar. Brinstar? How do you say that, Ben? Ben the
Brinstar.
Mighty and powerful.
Austin, no.
So are we now on another planet?
No, we're still on the same planet. This is all taking place on the same planet.
It's so confusing!
This is just like, think of it like an ant pile, or like an ant colony, like, they're like everywhere, but you have like little mound holes in different places. We're just going into this little mound hole. Weren't you saying something the other day about someone pouring gasoline down?
Oh, yes, okay. So, guys, something you should never try at home. This is extremely dangerous.
But it's absolutely awesome.
Yes. Is pouring gasoline down a really infested yard of ants. What happens...
Or down the ant hole.
Yeah,
down the ant hole.
Mound.
Yeah, what happens is the gas will fill up the mounds, and if you light it with a match, all the mounds are connected together, and they'll all burst on fire at the same moment. It is amazing to see, and extremely dangerous.
Another thing you can do, which I've seen, is I've seen people fill smaller ones with like liquid aluminum, and they'll dig it out, and it looks really awesome after they power wash it. And then some people, like, there was this one, and it was like,
we should call it PETA.
It was huge. It was like 50 yards by 50 yards, like a wide in every direction, and then deep into the ground. And they filled it with cement, and it was just like, it was like a city. It was amazing.
Oh,
if you have a cement truck, you should totally do it.
I think PETA should be called right about now.
Why? I haven't done any of this. I saw a video.
Well, I mean, isn't like talking about doing something, can't you get like arrested for that?
Just talking about it. I'm going to talk about things. Arrest me.
Well, that's not exactly what I was getting at.
Of course, Ben, you're assuming that enough people will watch this to be
get me arrested.
In order to make that comment, you have to first assume that we're not entertaining enough.
But we are entertaining. Look at me. I'm goofy. Alright, stop. Awkward moment is awkward.
With that,
Missile tank acquired. Missile capacity increased. How much does each missile tank increase your capacity by?
5. That is called a power tank.
Oh, why didn't you get it?
Because I can't.
Because you have to have like the speed while rolling.
Well, I did. I can technically get it, except it's so insanely, infuriatingly hard to do. Like, I saw some guy on YouTube do it. It's just not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Well, what does it do if we were to...
Well, I guess it is worth it because it gives you a power-up that you're not supposed to have yet.
Oh, okay. So just like boost your gameplay tremendously.
Yes. So it's technically worth it to have, but at the same time, it's not.
Like we'd be sitting here commenting on it for like 15 minutes.
More like 5 hours.
Really?
It takes forever to get that thing. Because basically what you have to do is
you're rolling through the ground.
You have to get enough speed, and then after you get the speed, you have to pop down into morph ball form, and then there's like a pixel that you have to hit just right, and then you'll be able to
Ben gets it first try.
No.
Oh, I just no.
No, because that was my one and only try, and I was like, screw this.
Oh, that was a try.
I didn't even notice. But anyways, I think you're at that point to where like you can just spam missiles and it won't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you mean you have it? Like 80 now? Shoot.
Like, what are those crab things? It's like one big
beetles.
They remind me of Hercules beetles, but like.
But I think
flying.
they look like crabs.
Crabs.
They just look like beetles.
Okay. Lava beetles.
Lava beetles. Okay. Imagine if some of this stuff like existed. How long could humanity last if this stuff just simply existed?
Well, the thing is, this is on one planet.
Yeah, this isn't here.
And also, this is on like a colony of space pirates. So obviously, they've like put some stuff in the ecosystem that shouldn't be here.
Like, so that, number one, an accident probably from transporting stuff they shouldn't, and number two, for defense.
Yeah, because
how could any of this be used for defense? Like, imagine...
Look how much trouble Samus has getting through it!
Because you're basically going to have to be an insane bounty hunter in order to get through here, and then they're assuming that there's enough obstacles in here to kill the bounty hunter. And even if there aren't, they're assuming that the big bosses are going to be able to kill the bounty hunter.
But Samus is apparently a really, 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 really bounty hunter.
Bouncy bounty hunter?
A bouncy bounty hunter.
Like a bouncy house?
I have no idea.
Like a Mr. Bounceiverce.
No one gets that.
What is a Bounceiverce?
Bounceiverce. That's from
Jim Gaffigan.
One of
our favorite comedians. Well, he's talking about like, well, okay, I like you go for a resume and it's like, oh, I see here you were Mr. Universe. Like what is that gonna get you? It's like, oh, maybe you could be a bouncer. Bouncer. Like
a bouncer.
A bouncer. Like, okay, well, you're not gonna be. We can't call you Mr. Universe here, right? You're just gonna be a bouncer. We can call you Mr. Bouncer or Mr. Bounceiverce. It was just funny.
Yeah. So every time we hear something like that, we're like, Mr. Bounceiverce, high jump.
High jump.
I like how it's not a HIGH jump because it's enough room. It's a high jump, like hello jump. It's problems.
Yeah.
You have problems? I did not notice.
Oh man, I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something.
So do those things break after you use them?
What things?
The little recharging things.
No, you can use those as many times as you want.
Oh, okay.
You just... Why are those, like... Are those robots or animals?
Yeah, they have, like, jets. They can be cyborgs.
You know, I've been thinking, we made a bunch of people mad, or I'm assuming we made a bunch of people mad, with our comments about Sherlock and Doctor Who. What are some of your guys' shows that, like, everybody else seems to love, but you just don't?
Sherlock and Doctor Who.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me think.
I don't watch too much shows outside of, like, anime.
I don't watch too much of what I don't like. I really haven't heard much about anything, but, like, other shows that I hear a lot about are actually pretty good.
I have not watched, what's the show?
Once Upon a Time?
Once Upon a Time, that's it.
Fairy Wars?
You're thinking about Fairy Tale.
Yeah,
You're thinking about Fairy Tale.
Yeah, well, I was trying to just think of a word for it, but it just doesn't seem important enough for me to watch.
Okay,
Don't mix up Fairy Tale and Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time, it takes a little bit to get going, but once it gets going, like, the plot is really, really interesting, and how they connect everything, and like the duality plot, like they have an entire, like, separate plot that's taking place in the past in a different world, and then the main plot. But what, you don't like those?
No.
Sometimes I forgot what it was. Plot? Oh yeah, like Arrow. Arrow has that too.
I thought that the dual plot in the second season of Arrow wasn't really handled that well.
Yeah, it wasn't, and that's the thing.
That is a thing.
But I'm just saying, like, compared to Arrow, Once Upon a Time does it a lot better, I think.
The problem that I had with the duality thing in Arrow was that the time spent on both stories were so wildly different. You could shove the entire island storyline into probably one episode.
Yeah, that was the problem I had with it too. Well, in Once Upon a Time, the flip stories are a little bit shorter. Sometimes they'll have an entire episode dedicated to it. And that'll really even it out.
And that's decent. I mean, it's not a show that I don't like. It's just a show that I don't really care to watch. Like, my family watches it all the time. I'm like, oh, cool, you're watching it again. I'm gonna go sit and watch anime now. Peace. And that's what I'll do. But it's not something I feel like I'm obliged or even feel like I want to watch. So I guess, but that doesn't really fulfill the question you're asking on what I don't like. It's just something I'm neutral.
Yeah, and I don't really not like I don't not like Doctor Who and Sherlock. It's just I think they get too much credit for being mediocre shows.
Yeah, too little work and get so much credit because of my most annoying thing about it is the fact that the credit they get is off, not even off the characters, is off the people and like real life. So that annoys me to no end, is when you give like...
Yeah, because like I hear so much about David Tennant and Benedict Cumberbatch, almost as much, if not more, than about the shows.
Yeah, that's all people care about, and that's what annoys me personally, is like, if you care about the people more than the actual show, then why even watch the show? You just watch some random streaming of the people.
That sounds a little bit creepy.
Well, it's probably because no one wants to admit that they want to do that. So they have to do that. What I would say is to answer my own question.
You're being born alive.
Yeah, to answer my own question, I guess. Another show besides Sherlock and Doctor Who, I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot even further, but I would say that Lost was kind of that show for me.
I have heard a lot of good things. I've heard some good things and a lot of bad things about Lost, and I just never took the time to ever watch it. Because I knew it was one of those shows where if I started watching it, it would ruin my life.
I guess the main thing that really
Irked you?
well, no, I guess
Irked.
it's
Irked
not really
is a good word.
irked. It was like the baseline thing is I couldn't get past the first episode.
Like you couldn't understand?
Well, it's not that I couldn't understand. I just couldn't get past it. Like I couldn't just because like it opens up, and the first thing that you really see in Lost is the airship, and like the first really major thing that you see is that guy that gets chopped up by the airplane.
I haven't seen it, so.
And like that was just like it was too big of a like a what moment for me, and then like nothing else grabbed me about it, because it seemed like whenever two characters were talking later, like they already knew each other, but it was clear that they didn't know each other. So I just felt like the characters were badly portrayed. The show was really riding on a lot of shock value.
And it did, but the thing is, that the shock value wasn't even that good. It was just like, here's some shock, and people are like, oh my goodness, but it's something we kind of already expected.
And the thing is like, I probably would have watched the series if I didn't hear all the bad things about it. Like, my brother had watched the series all the way through, and he said that at, like, the beginning of the third season, it's like they got all the fans of they got all the fans of season 3 for Lost, and like at the beginning of season 4, they were like, okay, you have two options. Either A, we are going to erase your memories of the first 3 seasons of Lost, and you can't remember it anymore, or we're going to make seasons 4 through 6 really bad, and you can still keep your memories of seasons 1 through 3. And everybody chose to keep their memories of seasons 1 through 3 because they were so good, but then seasons 1 through 4 were just terrible.
You mean 4 through 6?
Yeah, 4 through 6.
Yeah.
It was like they held everybody at gunpoint. It's like, hey, you like this one show? You
Whoa!
like it?
There's stuff down there.
Yes.
Burn yourself alive.
Oh, no, now I'm invulnerable to this.
Oh.
But it was like,
No more friends.
you like this plot? You like where it's going? Well, too bad. We're gonna make it a really bad plot.
Yeah, and personally, I watched it all the way to the almost end, but I never viewed it as something like, oh, I can't believe I never watched it. It was just like, oh well, I didn't watch it.
And I'm like that. Like I'm not. I'm not like a religious show watcher. Like I'll cram. Like I don't know if I do this subconsciously or I'll cram in a TV show like as much as I can in like 1 or 2 days, and then I'll just stop watching it for like 2 months.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Hey,
And then I'll start watching it again.
have you started watching season 2 of Psychopaths?
No, I
Oh, you carried them over there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a little puzzle that you have to solve.
That's pretty cool.
So how are you got a power up that allows you to be immune to that stuff?
It's like super dense chicken boiling suit.
It's like the chicken
But then
fry.
that defeats the point of the Federation of Misogynists.
Well, see, the Federation of Misogynists like didn't even know that she would get that far. They thought they were gonna be cooking her by here, but you know.
So then why don't they just set up like a self-destruct button in the suit? It's just like, you got a new power on your suit,
Well, because
you just blow it up.
Samus was smart enough to disable it.
Yeah.
Of course, since they're misogynists, they thought she would be too stupid to know.
Or you know, you could just run with the fact that you know.
There was no Federation of Misogynists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost wanted to say right there, and I'm free falling. As she was falling down there.
Yeah, I just cut out a bunch of backtracking right there because I figured I had already shown enough backtracking.
I love how the. Sorry for cutting you off.
There you
but
go.
I love how the world it's spelt no fair.
Oh yeah, it is. It's
No fair. Like every time you die in there, where'd you die? No fair.
We do not care if it's fair or not. Where did you die? This is heaven. We need to keep track of everything.
No fair.
You know what? You're going to hell.
No, everything's moved on.
No. Oh gosh. Oh,
No.
no.
I love how we're saying no to Ben when I was the one that said now heaven's misogynist.
Oh goodness, that's horrible.
See, look, hell.
Whoa, you lose health super fast.
Yeah, because that's lava. That's not acid. It's basically like acid's in the air, but lava's in the ground. If that makes any sense, I don't know.
Acid's in the air.
Lava's-
Wow, you lost all 3 of your lives. Okay.
Missile tank acquired. Missile tank up capacity upgrade.
Up capacity.
I stumbled.
Yeah.
Is that steam rising in the background or whatever?
That's like fire. That's like the fiery lakes of hell.
You're about to die.
I will never die.
Yeah.
You died 3 times already.
Shut up.
I thought it was only like once.
Yeah, it's only been one.
What was that?
Because a giant laser that can shoot ice will make this up. Pew 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 pew.
That is probably more accurate in a way. You notice that the boiling lava lake area. Boiling lava lake area was right outside of like the bubble area. Like, look at this. This is the bubble area.
Those
And
are
then-
eyes, I'm pretty sure, which is kind of creepy in and of itself.
Yeah, those look like eyes more than anything.
Well, like, imagine all the eyes melting because of the lava.
Just look at a lot of
Like,
eyes.
"Ah!"
There's a lot of eyes just looking back at you.
Like at the end of that Indiana Jones movie where they were trying to, like, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and they opened the Ark. And
Well,
like,
those
all-
weren't eyes.
The
their eyes were
Nazis'
melted.
eyes melted out of their faces.
Oh, gosh,
And
that-
one's exploded like a melon.
Yeah, that was pretty gruesome.
That was we should have the death penalty.
That-
No.
Austin, do you really want to get called back on that?
No.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. So, back to gameplay. And the fire pits of hell that Samus has entered.
This doesn't. No, this looks all bubbly and bubblegum. Like the walls look like hard bubblegum, and the water looks like orange and pink soda.
It's like heaven of death.
So, what?
Yeah.
Ben's just confused. Look, Ben, it's simple. The walls are rock candy.
It's gonna rot your teeth to death. That's the real threat. Every dentist worst nightmare.
I can't. And honestly, I can't tell because when the water looks, I mean, the lava or is that acid? It looks pink, so it looks friendly.
It's like
but then
acid.
these fiery monsters descend.
Yeah, that's the proper noise to make, by the way, guys. If you're not sure, whenever you see someone running, it's
Ch-ch-ch-bwah.
I would like to know where you got the scientific data from.
From these eyes, of course.
yes, quite indubitably.
From the gun. That's where we got the scientific data. No, we siphoned the information from Samus's gun.
Okay.
It doesn't know everything.
Yes, it does.
How?
Cause.
It's a gun that has a computer in it somehow. How could it not know anything?
Oh no, the gun is hooked up to the computer. It's like a USB port.
Oh, that's weird. I shoot and store data with this thing.
Like imagine like
It's
sitting down at your laptop,
And-
like oh man,
I clicked the wrong button, it shot my laptop.
like you plug it into your
Well, no,
laptop,
it's just like-
and you're trying to move around the scroller, but you click the wrong button, it just blows up the side of your laptop, like
Right.
straight through.
In your arm.
It wouldn't blow up the side of your laptop, it would just literally come out of the USB port. So it's like, if there was that guy at work you really don't like, and you're just sitting next to Bob, and then it's just like Bob's really annoying you, he's like at the on the other end
It's
of
like
the
here,
USB
Bob,
port.
let me install some virus protection.
No. What you do is you just move your USB port in his direction, and then you accidentally hit the plasma button.
The plasma button, because that's the thing that's normally built into USB ports. Is the plasma button. Oops.
Now these look more like bubbles than eyeballs.
Yes.
They're creepy bubbles.
They look like single-celled or multiple-celled organisms, like bacterium. Bubbles!
A bacterium. Well, some bacteria are single cell.
Yeah, I know, but there was multiple cells, so yeah. So, are we getting closer to the Metroid?
No. I think the Metroid shows up in part... No, Metroid probably shows up in part 5, I think.
Okay. Isn't this only 5 parts?
7.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And this is part 4.
Yep.
I love how we, the commentators, are confused on which part it is.
Welcome to HGI. We're so professional.
Such profession, so minor.
What if HGI stands for Hell Gone Insane?
All gone insane out. We should use that as the abbreviation